Grand Rising. Welcome to Healing Hype Man. Message of the day. Today the moon is in Sagittarius. I'm going to try to always implement where the moon is because it really will help with the message of the day and like that energy that we're feeling, you know, when you watch this, either the day after or at least 2 days after. That'll kind of be how I incorporate the astrology component to the messages of the day. So today the moon is in Sagittarius, so we're being very optimistic. And you know, I'm a big believer that when our emotions are in check or we understand our emotions, our output for the rest of our daily life can kind of be a little bit more balanced well, right? Like my favorite card is the Nine of Cups, because emotional stability, I think, overpowers financial stability. And we're being very optimistic today. You know, being in that we're in Pisces season as well, there might be a little bit of a want to like escape because we feel like things are okay, right? We might want to sleep in. We might want to like go and watch Netflix all day instead of do what we have to do. Because we know that things are going to be okay. We're in a good place where you're like, I'm good. I just want to sleep in, or I don't want to go to that thing, or I don't want to do that thing. Because everything's good. Everything's working out for us. And then by Saturday, the moon will go into Capricorn, so things will get back to a little bit more structure, right? So those things that we put off, it might very well, by the time we get the weekend, we're like, okay, let me go and do those things. So let's kind of dive in. Let's get one card here. I hope you guys are liking the incantations that I'm posting with the spellcasting oracle. So you can find the spell incantation either below if you're watching this on YouTube or in another post on my Instagram. So message of the day here. Aha, boundaries. Boundaries. Whew. We're putting boundaries up with people in our life. Boundaries with ourselves. You know what I always say with this? Like, I have boundaries. I know my boundaries, and you'll get to a level where you know your boundaries, right? Especially from someone coming from addiction, and like I know my boundaries or trauma. It doesn't matter what it is, right? You're like, you know what? I have a boundary for a reason, and it's not always you that crosses the boundary. It's other people, other places, other things that can cross this boundary. Which is why people, places, and things are so important, because you put up a boundary or you do things a certain way because that's what works best for you. If you know yourself very well, you've done the work, you've been doing the work, right? And for those of you that don't understand what boundaries really are, you take a look at your life and see, are you the reason and the cause that things happen, or is there situations that go on? Are you around too many people that are just not vibing on the same level as you, that incorporate drama into your life, even at work? You know, like, it's just, are you bringing work home, or what aspect of boundaries here do we need to take a look at? So let's kind of dive into this for message of the day. Very well, I am reading this for Capricorn, and they got it's like you're such at a high level that you need to put a boundary up. Don't allow everyone to have access to you. That's how you protect the vibe that you've done. If you're watching this, you have been doing the work. So you have been doing the work. Get yourself some jasper, some bumblebee jasper, right? This is like, we need a little positive buzz because there's a lot of things going on that aren't really in your control, right? The sun. The sun. What about the sun? Happiness here. The world. You're happy about, maybe you're happy in the direction that you're going to. What about the world? Seven of Wands. Okay, this is like a high vibe right here. This really is a high vibe, right? So protect your boundary. Protect the work that you've done in your happiness. Protect the work that you've done in this new chapter in your life. Very, very Sagittarius energy, right? The world, travel as well, right? So we're being very optimistic about our happiness here. We're also standing our ground. This is my belief system. I'm going to stand up for what I know, what I believe, and who I am, and what I can allow into my life and what I can't allow into my life, right? This is very standing up for myself. I'm standing up for the high vibe. Or also could be standing up for that you want happiness. You want things to be joyful and courageous. You don't want the toxicity in your life. Have that boundary. You know what? You're just too toxic for me. I don't want you part of my life. You know, there's always subtle ways to do that if you are involved with a lot of people. But I also say if you're involved with a lot of people and you have to be harsh with people, you're really involved with some serious people, right? And where's this going? High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. We're in Pisces season. Listen, you're starting to see things for as they are. You're starting to see things for, you're starting to see people for who they are, situations for what they are, for what they can offer you. Six of Wands. You're starting to see, right? This is about like, this is about, I see the work that I have done, right? And I see the work that other people are doing or not doing. And yes, you bring value to me, or yes, I see you for what you are, right? Seeing behind the veil and really, really seeing, you know, your ultimate wishes and dreams. Like, okay, I see behind the veil. I know what I need to accomplish. I know what I need to manifest in order to be successful in my life here, right? And then you're taking a look at the people and you're probably like, this is where I stand. This is where I stand. Where do you stand? Right? So what do we need? Any protection we need to know about? Any protection we need to know about? You know where you stand. Knight of Wands, be cautious of things, people, places, and things that are like in and out of your life, right? There is a sense of stability here. I really feel like the sun in this world, it's just like stable energy, like I said. Like with the Seven of Wands, this was giving me Empress vibes, and I don't know where I got that from. That's Alvin's intuitive tap right here, right? This is like another version of an Empress here. It's like I'm standing up for myself. I know what I like. I know what I want, right? But there is aspect, right? I asked, what do we need to look out for? Playboys. This is the Playboy card. Playgirls, hustlers, thugs, scammers, right? People that are just flaky as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, we don't have time for you. Like that's the boundary that I'm putting. I don't have time for that. Right? I'm being very optimistic about my life. The moon is in Sagittarius. I'm being very optimistic that things will turn out for me, and I have high wishes and dreams. And Pisces season, we're all about, we're looking at our dreams, we're looking at our ultimate wish fulfillment, and we're being really, really dreamy and mystical about it because I'm being optimistic about it, right? That's the energy that we're in here, and you really are standing in your power, and that's also something you can lean into. Stand into who you are and what you want, and your big wish fulfillment, that crazy endeavor that people like, you can't do that, you don't have the money, you can't, fuck them. You can still, you don't understand the magic within the next 30 days, especially with Jupiter and Pisces. Like, it's just very, very possible, right? And even if you think you're not tapping into that energy, watch March come and then like something just happens, right? I'm telling you. What to look out for? Flaky situations, in and out situations and when I say that, I mean in and out situations that you don't even care to like think like, you're like, it's actually inconveniencing me. It's not really doing me any justice, or if they're diminishing, you know, your vibe, right? That vibe that I talked about. Put a boundary up. Just be like, you know what? Sometimes you can't get rid of that person because they're your boss or they're your partner, right? So it's like, okay, instead of boundary, have limitations on how far you will give them your energy or how much access you'll give to them. You know, you'll kind of be able to gauge what that's about. Yeah, let me pull here a fallback card. So you'll find the spell Incantation at the bottom. Maybe I'll read this to you. Celebrate you. Take yourself out on a date. Treat yourself to a massage. Take time to enjoy your own company. Yeah, you're in a vibe here. You're in your very own vibe, and I think that you shouldn't deal with anyone that's just in and out and that's not appreciating your vibe. Set that boundary. Begin again. Today's a fresh start. Your path is clear to begin where you are. And this is what I was saying with the Six of Wands and the High Priestess. Accept what it is. Healing occurs naturally. With acceptance, make peace with what is, and only way out is through. And that's just like, you see it for what it is. Is it good for you? Great. If it's not, right? Let's not diminish that. It's just like, okay, I see where you stand on my level of need, on my level of priority, right? That's really what I get here. It's like you see both sides, the Pisces energy. They see both sides, the good and the bad, and it's like, okay, I see where you stand. I see where you are in the parade. Are you in the front of the parade with me? Or are you in the middle? Are you in the back? Are you at the bottom watching me on my horse? Right? And just accept them for where they're at. Right? Don't belittle them. Don't. Also, if they're above you, I think that's a good thing. What about them is it that you like? Right? Strive for that. So I'm going to read boundary here, or you can find this in another post. The spell incantation is hold a piece each of rope and elderwood as you face north under a dark moon on a Saturday. Again, you can do this while you're meditating, while you're walking in a spiritual bath. Right? I always kind of just change that to while meditating or in a spiritual bath. Recite this. Limits reached, boundaries crossed, advantage taken, respect lost. Standing strong upon the earth, elder, dispel to birth. Wrap the rope around the wood, binding two words, yes and should. Releasing any obligation, banishing all exploitations. Divide and part, now draw the line. Boundaries placed, my life is mine. This spell incantation is if you need to put a boundary up for somebody. I think you'd really appreciate this one. So my name is Alvin Catalan. I'm present. I'm done speaking now.